Hello and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer, the board game review show that was named after Sir Edmund Hillary 6 years before he climbed Mount Everest. My name is Cody. Have you ever dreamed of being an international spy like Kim Philby, Guy Burgess, or Donald McLean? I'm sorry, all I can think of are communists. Well, look no further, because here's a game that's going to make you feel just like Anthony Blunt. Spyfall from Cryptozoic. In Spyfall from Cryptozoic Entertainment, 3 to 8 people are going to be engaged in this game of finding out who among them is the spy. But this is very different from other social deduction games like, say, The Resistance or Werewolf. I'll tell you what I mean. This game contains about 30 different decks of cards. Now, each of these decks of cards contains the exact same location. This could be a military base. It could be a crusader army. It could be a nightclub. It could be a casino. It could be an ocean liner. They've got all these different places. And every single card is the same, except one. One of the cards in each of these decks is the spy card. You're going to place that on the bottom of each deck. The game is played over a series of rounds, and each round what you're going to do is select one of these decks, and nobody knows what the location is on the bottom of this deck. Now what you're going to do is take the spy card off of the bottom, so you know you've got a spy, and then enough cards to match the number of players. Then what you're going to do is mix them up, and then everybody's going to get one card. Everybody's got the exact same location except the spy who has the spy card. Now, the person who dealt out the cards, he is going to begin the round. He can pick any one of the other players, look them in the eye, and ask them any kind of a question.
Cody, I think you might enjoy this place more if you could will yourself invisible.
Possibly. I think I could see the advantages.
What he's trying to find out is the person I'm asking, does he know where we are? Assuming, of course, that the dealer is not the spy. And then, after the person who was asked the question answers, he then can turn to anybody else and ask them a question, except the person that just asked him. So you're going to go back and forth asking these questions.
Cody, do you feel that your creativity is hindered or helped here?
Do you ever get homesick?
Is this location busier during the day?
You have to be subtle. You can't simply say something like, are there tanks where we are? Because that gives it away it's at an army base, right? You have to find a way to be subtle. What kind of footwear are you wearing? Is it cold where you are? Are you entertained? So you ask these kind of vague questions that you and other people in the location will get and understand, but the spy won't. You're trying to trip up the spy. Now, at any time, somebody can make an accusation. They can say, I think he's the spy.
I think he's you.
And if all the people agree, the person who is accused, who cannot vote, flips over the card. And, of course, if he is the spy, then he's lost. The person that made the accusation gets more points. The other players get some points except the spy. Now, the flip side of that is the spy at any time, he can flip over his card, reveal himself as a spy, and say, I think we're at this location. And if he's right, he gets a ton of points. If he doesn't get any. The other guys get some points. Now, you can kind of play to a set number of points or a set number of rounds and then see who's got the most points at the end. I got to be honest, this is one of those games where kind of the point aspect is not that interesting. It's not really about that. It's about this idea of trying to find out who the spy is. So that is essentially the game. You're going around trying to figure out who the spy is every round, or the spy is trying to figure out what location he is at every round. Now, first of all, this game is more of a party game. It's a social deduction game, but it's more of a party game, I think, than, say, something like The Resistance. This is a game that really, there's tension, but it's not nearly as tense as something like The Resistance, but there's a lot of fun and laughter you can have with this game. You are asking these questions, and you're trying the best to kind of let everybody in the know, except the one person that shouldn't. And the spy, he's just sweating because he's got to find out what is the best. What question can I ask that's not going to give me away? And he's got to be very careful. He's got to be vaguer than vague. And, of course, he looks vague because he looks like maybe he's just trying to throw the spy off when, in fact, he's a spy. He's got to be vague. This is just tremendous fun, but like with all party games, it really depends on one very important caveat. The caveat is, are you playing with fun people? Are you playing with creative people? Are you playing with people who know this isn't that serious, it's just goofy fun, and they're willing to laugh. They're willing to laugh at themselves. If you can find people like that to play with, you will have a ton of fun with Spyfall. If you play with people that frankly don't have a lot of personality, it's going to fall flat. But that is Spyfall, and it is tremendous, tremendous fun. I highly recommend it. The recommendation for the Discriminating Gamer is buy it! Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. We are The Discriminating Gamer. And, Sidney Riley. He was a spy and not a communist.
Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
Ma'am, I'm trying to get a were rat.